It's Tuesday. It's November 12th, 2024. Um, I'm inside the United States of America with an ONE, Federal Reserve note, and an In God We Trust. And then as far as the Treasury goes, um, I was at work today and there was an incident. I had I mean, again, I have incidents. It's on the surveillance all day long. But I don't know who's in the control room at like Central. Like, I don't know where it goes. I don't know what process it goes through. Like, are these Americans? Are these un-American? I don't know, and I really don't trust at this point. So here we are in the whatever. Um, so I'm in work. I'm at the register, and I have one woman come up and she tries to pass me a counterfeit coin, what I feel is counterfeit coin. Let's just put it this way, it does not have the eagle on the back of the quarter. And when I refused it, I asked her if she had the eagle on the back of the quarter. She said, why? She says, do you collect? And I'm like, I can only confirm the US quarter has an eagle on the back of it. I don't know what these alternate backs are. I was like, as far as I from my government has told me that it's a eagle on the back of it. That's it. And so she gave me an eagle for the register to pay, and she took back what I believed to be counterfeit. And then she looked at it and she's like, oh, we'll have to ask. And she of course said this in an accent, and I don't know who she's going to ask. And then she said, it might be worth more money. And of course, in the back of my head, I'm like, what? Like, cost the taxpayers more money? I don't really understand our relationship in this conversation. Like, I mean, the quarter has an eagle on the back of it. That's it. So, um, so that happened, and then I had another woman come up. I had several people come today, and their bills are not passing the electronic machine that we were given to check for counterfeit. um does the machine check serial numbers, whatever? I don't know this level of equipment. I haven't been trained on it, but when the red light comes up as false, so I several of them, I gave the bills back, figured out another way to pay. This one woman, actually went to the manager because not only did her she gave me four bills, three passed the machine, one did not. So I asked her for an alternate form of payment. So she went with a credit card. But now, when she went to use the Verifone, she was sliding her Amex, and it wasn't working. And then she's telling me my machine's broken. Like, my machine's not working. And so I said, with these machines, you either have to tap or you have to use the slot on the bottom. So she's annoyed because I wouldn't take the $100 bill. That wouldn't pass the machine, even though I can show her that it was red. And she just keeps sliding her Amex. And I'm like, it's not going to work that way. And she's like, I've never had this problem before in the store. And so I said, I don't know what to tell you. The machines, they've been this way since like 1990. So anyhow, so she went to like, once the chip was introduced on the plastics, the magnetic strip only failed. No longer, like, they stopped processing it that way. So I don't know what to say. So and like, I'm thinking, so anyway, so then she went to the manager. The manager got mad at me, and then the manager tells me that I need a check because as long as the bill has a line and has the image doubled over in the print money, that I have to accept it. The manager says this to me. And I'm like, So now what am I supposed to do? I'm on surveillance. I know that the whatever needs to know things. And I'm like in the North American security apparatus that's supposed to protect me and my kid while the un-American things are dancing around us. So I again, like, special project, special interests. I don't know who belongs to whom. Um, so I'm so of course I'm just cordial with her because we both work for the same corporation, and it's on surveillance. So if anything has to be instructed differently, but I have no way of checking serial numbers. I don't have like a monetary specialist. I filled out my Area 51 alerting my employer that I'm concerned about the amount of fraud in the local area. I mean, I did my what I needed to do in my chain of command. So I don't really know at this point, from a civilian point of view, what I'm supposed to do. So, but it's alarming that the manager's telling me to take counterfeit. I'm like, if it doesn't, what's the point of the machine if it doesn't pass it, and then you tell me to override it? I mean, so, but again, there's problems in the local banks. The Chase over here and the other one, they're receiving money, like linen, from a car service, a van service that doesn't even, it's not an armored car, and it has paper license plates, which I've also reported. So I really don't know what else to do at this point, but management's telling me to take the counterfeit, even if it doesn't pass the machine, rather than handing it back to the customer. And there's no real instructions. I don't know where to go for instructions on this one. Um, so there's that. Um, but the customer telling me that the quarter might be worth more. I'm like, now, like, thinking to myself in quarterbacks, I was like, now, is that an incoming shipping charge, or is that imports or exports? It's more expensive. It's like confusing. And why would they go with a shipping company that's more expensive than the Eagle? Like, that doesn't make sense with me either. But then again, I don't know who handles that level of whatever and the whatever. So so that happened. Then there was another incident that happened with this kid at school, and my son. Uh, and so this time, my son was doing something on. They were done with classwork, and he was with one of his friends, um, and he drew something. He drew a monster with sunglasses, and then the kid has access, that he drew on his iPad. The kid has access to something called WeChat, which is Mandarin or Chinese, or it's what they prefer to use. I again am limited technology. My son and I don't have it. My son was not invited, because as an American you have to be invited into this WeChat application. I think it's supposed to be parallel to the other version, which is WhatsApp. But again, I'm not technology savvy. I don't know the underground. I don't understand the persons that are using or creating this stuff. So I'm here. So my son was not given an invitation. So, but the kid who did have access to WeChat sent it to all of the other classmates in 701 that had access to WeChat, and started a rumor that it was this kid who had my son already suspended. My son wants no part of this Bizyatika stuff. Like, again, he's my kid and he's staying out of it. So he he said, it's, like, so now he's upset because this kid has this photo and starts spinning that it's so and so. And so we had to go in and meet with the dean again. Um but that little fact of WeChat, and there was no invitation, but yet they took the drawing and sent it out, anyway, um, and starting to stir up trouble to get my son in trouble again in this mixed congregate of whatever. I don't know who they are or where they're from. Um, it's a problem. It's problematic. Again, it's just more with all the counterfeit that's going on with the like the international license plates, then the out of state license plates on the island. So it's not even like state your business. I don't even know what they're up to or why they're even here. It's like being in a blind. It's really like with a lot coming at you. It's a lot of sensory information, and I'm not sure how to get to the correct bird on the whatever and the whatever that actually like might care. Just maybe, like, I don't know. I mean, it's been 46 years, but whatever. Um, and then I had another thing with yesterday. It was the bit about the cell phones with these gift cards from the hospitals and the employers to some people in the local area that are coming in now to use this. But it's not a material card, it's on this technology. And then on the technology that's coming in, I know what my cell phone says. And I know how it's, I don't know if the word's networked. I mean, that's what the commercials on television say. And I'm inside of this at the moment. So there are alterations to what I have displayed on my cell phone um, in technology. So again, is that like at a mobile, like cellular level? Um, and then cybersecurity comes into concern. I just Anthony's been going to the Bronx a lot and paying a lot of MTA fees, but in my vehicle. So they always, because the vehicle's registered to me, think it's me in the vehicle, which it's not. And he had racked up a whole lot of late fees and stuff because he wasn't paying the the bills, because that's just his mo. And there was like a $508, like it was an odd amount. $508 was due to MTA. So my mother helped him with her checking account and paid for it. She has a copy of it. But MTA sent back in the mail in an orange envelope threatening to charge me like an additional $10,000 in penalties after it's already been paid. They said that they don't have the payment. They said they have no record of the payment. I really feel like with all of the other stuff that's coming down and coming out at this point, that this is just further harassment. So my mother has a copy of the check. Now we have to go through the inconvenience of proving to MTA and getting them to drop this frivolous, like nuisance complaint against my car and my person. Since it's already been paid, they received the payment. Um, but these are like the intricate details of having to live through this quagmire of muck, and like there's no enjoyment here. There hasn't been, not since I was born and not since I've come back. It's just like, it's just a terrible, terrible place to try to raise a family. Um, like in Virginia, I felt like we had hope. Like, and I like was like a dream life. New York, it's just like it feels like hell. Um, and then after being like chemically attacked and whatnot, and going through the medical events with like going down to like a count of 5 RBCs when you're supposed to be at 15, and then having to go through blood transfusions and stuff, and like no medical advice that like actually makes sense to the level of knowledge that I have. I mean, it's just a whole lot of not all right. Um, and then it's like no where to get answers, no, not knowing like who, like to question, like how do you just fix things. I mean, it's it's completely disgusting is what it is. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cataruza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. And it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. So anyway, so on these cell phones, there's different technology along with these migrants that have come in, and I don't know whom else. Like there seems to be like some people that are trying to blend in that I would consider a migrant, but I don't know what their status is. And when they show me their technology, which I don't, it has something different than the technology that I'm using at the moment, but it concerns me at cybersecurity for like mapping, and if they're using these like time here for mapping or for, I mean, I could go in. I mean, I could write a dissertation on all of my concerns at this point.